Hello everyone, today we're going to be reacting to some ADHD memes that I found on my For You page on Instagram. I thought it'd be cool to see what's out there, to see how others think about ADHD, especially on the humorous side of things, because sometimes it's good to not take life so seriously. I'd love for you guys to share your opinions too, so feel free to comment when we go through these different memes. I'll be reacting to these memes in real time so you'll get my fresh perspective on them. I can't be asked reacting to anything on TikTok because a lot of accounts wind up getting flagged for use of the sound. That's cool, we can react to my For You page. A lot of these are probably going to be ADHD meme therapy because that's one that comes up a lot, so there you go. Me trying to explain to someone that people with ADHD are rebellious and dislike authority but do better in structured environments. Isn't this just one of the contradictions of having ADHD? Many of us tend to have a very rebellious nature, yet we do really well with structure and routine as much as we despise it all at the same time. Many ADHDs will question authority when that authority may not have any sense or reason. We don't like to follow instructions just for the sake of following instructions. It has to have a definite reason. There has to be a bigger picture as to why we are following set instructions or rules or protocol. And yet many of us do really well when there is a sense of routine and structure, as much as some of the time we might really despise that. When you start an argument for the dopamine but the other person has ADHD too. This has certainly been the case between somebody I've had a relationship with. He's a notorious debater, incredibly intelligent, has ADHD, and there has been moments at 3 a.m. and I kid you not, we are arguing about a particular subject. And then I wonder why I deal with insomnia. It's like, well, there you go, there it is. In regards to two ADHDers engaging in an argument, it's never really going to end, is it? My ADHD brain when I can't master a new hobby after only practicing it for a few days. It's super normal for someone with ADHD to, when they start a project or a hobby, if they feel they're not progressing in a certain length of time, they A, wind up feeling defeated from it, and B, lose interest because they feel that there is no sense of progression. This is why short, sweet projects are really good for the ADHD. When you undergo a project with a short duration, you obviously get results a lot quicker. And this way, experiencing a completed task or seeing progression can really encourage you to keep going. And if that means pursuing new hobbies, because let's face it, we will, at least we know we can actually progress and get better. I personally find that through training for the Air Force, going to the gym and seeing that physical progression was really helpful. There's something really encouraging about seeing a physical progression like that. For example, last year in August, when I decided to apply for the Air Force, I couldn't do one press-up. I gave myself 2 months and I could meet the quota. Experiencing breaking your glass ceiling like that, especially if they are small goals, is so encouraging. You can do it. Part of what helped me achieve this goal as well was the benefits of Magic Mind. Through Magic Mind, I have dedicated myself to practicing mental wealth. Mental wealth is taking care of your full well-being. Doing things for yourself you know are going to benefit you in every facet of your life. Through Magic Mind, I've had increased focus and attention and have had reduced anxiety and stress. These benefits come through their ingredients such as matron L-theanine, as well as adaptogens like ashwagandha and rhodiola rosea. I've been taking Magic Mind for over a month now and I highly recommend them. You can get 45% off the Magic Mind bundle by following the link in the description. Inattentive ADHD is preparing for verbal conversations because despite having extensive vocabularies, they often struggle with verbal expressions due to memory recall issues. I'm pretty confident with writing. I like to write emails and texts. I don't really like to take phone calls, especially ones that come out of the blue and you have no idea who's calling. One thing I do struggle with, and let's take it back to the whole debate situation. I actually do struggle with debate, or to be able to express my opinion in a clear, articulate manner so the other person can understand. I don't have trouble when it's all written down because I can read it and edit it and what have you. But when I'm put on the spot, I just get a whole big brain fart. I just can't function. ADHD people dealing with the slightest inconvenience caused by technology that isn't working as expected. I'd like to know how I grew up in the early 2000s with dial-up, I swear. Nowadays, I just simply don't have the patience and our household becomes a pirate ship. Whether it's having to do everything online. Does that frustrate you guys? Especially when doing things online requires 10 different steps, two-factor authentication. Oh, I can't stand it. It's just those little things that I find quite irritating, and that I would rather just have a very simple process of going A to B and done. Now, I know other ADHDers who are a little bit worse than me, as in smash keyboards and whatnot. I haven't gone that far. Now, on a more serious note, ADHD and paralysis, I like to call this one personally analysis paralysis. And it's not in regard to being lazy or unmotivated. It is more to do with the feeling of being overwhelmed with a certain task or project. It could be something as small as choosing something from the menu, especially when there are a lot of things to choose from. Or it could be much larger things like making a major life decision. Having analysis paralysis may be part of the reason why we don't get things done on time or in a timely manner. It's not that we don't want to get the thing done. It's just that we don't know the correct action to take in that moment. What are the correct steps in order for us to complete that task? Another part of it is the fear of failure, rejection-sensitive dysphoria, not wanting to make a particular move in case we fail again. A lot of we ADHDers have rejection-sensitive dysphoria because of so many perceived failures in our lifetime, partially due to the schooling system. I know that through my journey of adulthood, especially as I've gotten older, I've become very, very careful with the decisions that I've made, especially ones that would impact me and my family long term. But sitting on something and not doing anything is a choice. Analysis paralysis winds up becoming a choice when that is all that we ever do. It is a difficult one to break through and overcome when you've experienced so many different failures. Why ADHDers may come across as being selfish. A lot of how ADHDers connect and relate with others is sharing their own experiences. This may come across as completely selfish because while the other person may be talking about things that have happened in their lives, the ADHDer may interrupt and talk about what's happening in their lives. But this is only due to the fact that the ADHD is trying to reach out and connect with the other person. I really have to practice just being able to sit there and listen and say, oh wow, that's quite the experience that you've had, without actually butting in and appearing like I'm making it about myself, even though I don't want to. We commonly experience sensitivities when it comes to emotions, injustice, sensory, and rejection to criticism. I love to elaborate on the sensory issue, and I think this one often gets underlooked when it comes to ADHD, and we rather associate it more with autism. ADHDers certainly do. It could be annoying fabrics, it could be certain sounds like the cicadas or 10 people talking all at once. You'll know this especially if you are a parent and you have more than one child. So often when we're traveling somewhere in the car, my husband and my 2 kids will talk at me all at once, and I wind up going, hey, everyone, just shush for a moment. I can't concentrate on anything. And I know that's not just an ADHD issue, but it's an example of having too much stimulation overwhelming the system. I wish I could sleep, but my stupid ADHD kicks in, and well, basically, 1 sheep, 2 sheep, cow, turtle, duck, old MacDonald had a farm, hey Macarena. ADHDers may commonly experience insomnia, and this is part of the reason why. Too many things running through the head all at once. Why does it always happen at 1 a.m? That indeed is the annoying part of it. Why is it that we can so easily fall asleep at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but when it actually comes to going to bed and being in a quiet space, that's when everything just floods in? It's not fair. And then there's this one. Many people with ADHD may have comorbidities such as dyslexia, and in this case, dyscalculia. Dyscalculia is actually what I experience, and interestingly enough, going into the Air Force, I had to work really hard at getting my mathematical reasoning up to scratch. And look, I tell you, it was difficult. I know many of you may have struggled with maths at school, often counting on your fingers. In fact, in the past when I've worked in retail, I've often counted change on my fingers, and this had come across as incompetent, which I thought was a bit unfair. If you're able to actually get the work done, you get the work done. Doesn't matter how you get there. Anyway, you guys, this is about all that we have time for today. I hope you have a good day, night, morning, evening, wherever you're underworld, and I'll see you guys all again for the next one. Bye.